Chastavu, నీ తాగే విధం చూస్తే చస్తావు. నువ్వు చస్తావురా. చస్తావురా. నీ నడిపే విధం చూస్తే చస్తావు. So the way you're driving, you'll die, man. And suddenly I realized, oh, that's what the song can be about. My friends messaged me back, why are the women feeding the guy? Normally it is pseudo friends who feed you with all this alcohol. Why the women? Why the women? And few others said, oh man, I can't drink anymore without thinking of my mother anymore. However poor my Telugu is, my second album called Tales of this Telugu Man. There is Tarun Bhaskar in South in Telugu film industry who makes slightly alternative films. So he himself found my music.
Alluri, welcome to CNN News 18.
Thank you, Vishal.
Alluri, you have recently released a new song titled Chastavu.
Yes, Chastavu. Yeah.
It's a rock song in Telugu.
Yes.
And apologies if I've got it wrong, but it seems like it's a song giving a powerful message in a satirical way.
Yes, I had happened to write the song, and I made sure it wasn't didactic. The song itself, I wanted to infuse it with some humor, not take myself too seriously. And then when it came time to make the video, I was always I wanted it to be entertaining, engaging, but not didactic or preachy in any way. So that was my yeah, main aim.
So, can you please talk to us about the lyrics?
Yes, the lyrics are very simple, colloquial speak. There's nothing complicated about the lyrics, because that's the Telugu I know. And yes, I wrote the riff one day during during my songwriting session. I liked the riff and I developed the song a bit, but I didn't know what the song was about. And that day itself, I was driving to go meet somebody, and I was in a slight hurry, uh, and I sort of overtook a bit more roughly than I usually drive. And I caught myself saying to myself, "Chastavura, I mean, nadipe vidhan chuste chastav." So the way you're driving, you'll die, man, is what I told myself. And suddenly I realized, oh, that's what the song can be about. And quickly went back and I saw what else can kill me the way I'm living right now, if I, of course, indulge in an excess manner. Uh, and that's how the song came out by chance.
How has been the response, and have you got a chance to look at some of the comments on YouTube?
Yes, I this time I released it very organically, and I didn't want any fake views. I didn't want any hollow views by just putting some money on YouTube. So I'm actually very happy with the number of views I have. And if you look at the comments, it's been pretty interesting. Not only on YouTube, but on WhatsApp as well. I've had my friends message me back saying, "Why the women? Why the women? And why are the women feeding the guy? Normally, it is pseudo friends who feed you with all this alcohol. Why the women? Why the women?" And few others said, "Oh man, I can't drink anymore without thinking of my mother anymore." Few people said, I put my drink aside while while watching the video. So it has been actually a good fun to read all this.
So then, please give us few lines of the song.
Yes, well, Chastavu, నీ తాగే విధం చూస్తే చస్తావు. నువ్వు చస్తావురా. నీ ఇల్లు నీ ఒళ్ళు నశించిపోతాయి. నీ నమ్ముకున్నోళ్ళు రోడెక్కుతారు. యస్వామి నీ నిత్య సత్యం, కానీ ఒక చుక్కేసుకుంటే అది ఓకేలేరా. So it is what I said there is warning people of the ills of excess alcohol drinking, which everybody knows, but I just say it in the form of song. But at the same time I say, yes sir, what you say is true, but once in a while a drop here and there is cool. So yeah, yeah.
Sure. You also have a new song, the Hindi song also out. It's called Andar Ka Jaanwar. Can you please talk to us about the new Hindi song? This is your first Hindi song, right?
Yes, this is my first Hindi song that I released. Yeah. So Andar Ka Jaanwar, I'd lived in Bombay for a couple of years, and I heard a lot of Hindi, and because of which I suddenly started writing songs in sort of gibberish Hindi. And I had some parts written of this song, but it was once again, I was in a car, an Uber this time, coming back from a meeting, all upset about my life and where I'm going. And I look outside and I see some kids playing cricket on the street. I was so happy. And suddenly that reminded me of my childhood. What's happened to me? Why am I'm in an AC Uber complaining about my life? Where are there kids on the street having fun? So all this suddenly made me angry with myself. So this Andar Ka Jaanwar bahar aa raha hai. suddenly that line popped into my head. So that's the genesis of the song. I straight away finished that part, the chorus, and then I worked backwards, sat with the lyricist in Hyderabad, who's actually a physics PhD professor at Triple IT, who's known to be a poet as well, and a bachelor as well. So I thought it's perfect. Let me go sit with him and work out the verse. And that's how the verse came about. I gave him some direction, but I let him write what he wanted to, while the chorus remained the same. The chorus line is by me, Andar Ka Jaanwar Bara. But then the verse, I told him, it is a co-write, I would say, because I told him I didn't want it to be me angry with one person or me angry in love or me angry at society. It has to be some sort of restlessness that we all have as human beings living in this messy world. How to be sane in this insane world. I wanted him to capture some of that uh, in the verses, rather than it be about somebody that you're angry with or point fingers at somebody or at society. I don't like doing that. So I wanted him to capture that. So yeah, that's how the verse came about, while the chorus stayed the same.
So then please give us few lines. It's a brand new song again.
यस, मेरे सीने में क्या है जो बहता है, क्या है जो धड़कता है, क्या है जो पिघलता है, सुनता हूं तो कोई मुझ में चीखता है, मेरे अंदर का जानवर बाहर आ रहा है दोस्त, तेरे अंदर का जानवर बाहर लेके आओ दोस्त.
Before moving on, would you please like to talk to us about your early days and your journey of becoming the singer whom we all love?
It took me a long time to write my own songs. I started playing guitar when I was in my 8th or ninth grade, learning cover songs, and always wondered how are these songs written? How do these artists know what words to use, what chords to use? I grew up in India until my 12th grade. I was in India. Then I went to the UK and I studied there for about 3 4 years. And then I was in Finland as well. And being, I suppose, in nature in Finland, suddenly I started writing my own songs. That's when I moved back to London, spent 3 4 years there, made an album in English called Man of Truth. I thought it would be a significant thing, an Indian, South Indian coming to the UK, making an album and releasing it. And that wasn't the case at all. If anything, I realized sort of I was half lying to myself, trying to fit in with something that I'm not really a part of. That's when I wrote a whole album in Telugu. However poor my Telugu is, my second album called Tales of This Telugu Man, it came out of this, again, once again, a frustration or an identity crisis I had, because of which, of course, the whole album happened. And that gave me more opportunities, be it in France or Cambridge Folk Festival in the UK. So I got to play some festivals in India. And yeah, ended up recording the album in Italy with a Grammy nominated music producer called Tommaso Coleva. So it was a great experience I had there. But slowly that made me realize I need to rediscover India. And that's when I moved to Bombay, and then all this happened, the Hindi songs, and yeah.
When talking about the Telugu songs, then are you more drawn toward the themes that are more universal in nature? Or is there a larger goal for Alluri to produce music that should break language barrier and resulting in becoming sort of the new Natu Natu?
Well, I mean, what I really love about Western rock and roll music, Western popular music that started in the 60s is the independent spirit with which they write this music. It is not 10 people saying, okay, this is the film, that's the director, that's the script, this is the situation, this is what's happening, and the same old situations repeating. I feel Indian writers and musicians are forced to cater to a pre-existing story, and more often than not, the same old story. Um, there is no freedom given to Indian artists to write. Well, there is that freedom, but there is no audience. One has to earn that audience. So I feel India is really missing that, and it is this Western rock and roll music that got me to fall in love with playing the guitar, singing, writing songs. So with the same spirit is with which I write. I'm not that interested in hold my hand for 8 days a week. Not. I love the Beatles, not their early first four records, but where it was all about I'm in love with you 8 days a week, or I want to hold your hand. I mean, that is it is as fun as it is. I'd like to be truthful about my perspective on life and where I am and express that through song. And that's how all the songwriting happened. Yeah.
So then, which are some of the filmmakers or actors who are on your wish list?
Well, as of now, none of my songs have been used in films. They've gotten very close. There is Tarun Bhaskar in South in Telugu film industry who makes slightly alternative films. So himself found my music and enjoyed it, and he's very close to using it. He might use it at some point. That's free for him to use it. But apart from that, I suppose I look at this as my own independent musical journey where I am expressing myself. And collaborations, film wise, I don't have any particular sort of aspirations. Although I love some independent cinema that's coming out from Kerala or even Bombay or even a couple of Marathi films as well. Um, so it is the independence, anybody with the independent spirit, I'm ready to collaborate with.
So then, Alluri, how do you see the evolution of independent rock? And according to you, what is the lifespan today of a new song in today's day and age, where thousands of songs are dropping every day, and very often a good song gets lost in this world where we are witnessing a content overload?
Absolutely. That's a good thing about tech. Well, the positive about technology is that everybody has a chance to access these tools to create something, but then you get lost in an ocean of noise. Um, so how do you stand out? I don't even know if I'm addressing your question at the moment, but yeah, that is the challenge. So many songs being uploaded on streaming platforms every day. There is no easy answer to this. I mean, if you actually look at, let's say, a band like Pink Floyd or other bands, or Queen for that matter, that took 4 albums for their song to become a hit. Pink Floyd, it was in their 7th or 8th album that they had a big commercial hit. Until then, they were
That was a different era. That was different time. You know what I
so
mean?
so even in that era, it was that tough to break through. In this era, those bands wouldn't even exist. But I don't know what's happening inside me. But I want to write songs that, I want to be truthful to myself and not sell my music to the highest bidder when it comes to writing. I want to write my songs. If people like it, great. If people don't, that's fine too.
Well, with that, I want to thank you for talking to me, and I'm looking forward to lots more.
Thank you, Vishal. Thank you.
Thank